Yo, what's up? Time for some joints and games. Life in Night City can be expensive, especially if you want to get all the shiny new rides. With this in mind, here are a few relatively easy ways to accumulate larger sums of eddies quickly and without resulting to exploits, glitches or whatever the fuck. First of all, sell all the stuff you don't need. During missions, gigs and jobs, you will be visiting a whole lot of different places that are usually packed to the brim with stuff. It doesn't matter if the stuff is useful or not. If it exists, it can be sold. Therefore, my general tip is to vacuum any and all things you will come across and to sell them either at the nearest vendor or at the nearest drop point. Personally, I find drop points to be more reliable. A fresh drop point, and by fresh I mean one that you haven't used within the last 24 in-game hours, has 20,000 eddies that can be yours if you have enough stuff to sell. And in 9 cases out of 10, 20,000 eddies is way more that you can get for completing a mission. In comparison, the budgets of vendors tend to vary, and they sometimes have only a few thousand eddies available for your amazing sales. But this is not why you are here, is it? What about those leather jackets from the title? Well, in order to pull this one off, you have to be able to craft items of the uncommon quality, so green items, and you gotta have the crafting specs for an item that strikes a good balance between the components needed for crafting and the price you can get for it. In my case, the item striking that balance has proven to be this here leather jacket. It requires a minuscule amount of common and uncommon components, and it goes for over 1000 eddies. When visiting a fresh drop point, you can make a delivery, a delivery of 18 jackets like that. And that gives you a neat sum of almost 19,000. So, you go to a location of an ongoing crime or you complete a mission and you grab all the stuff that's there. Keep the useful stuff for yourself. As far as cheap items go, disassemble them for components. You will need them to craft your leather jackets. Then craft your jackets and go to a drop point to sell them along with all the shit you don't need. Rinse and repeat. Now, my favorite location is Gold Niwaki Plaza in Westbrook, just between Charter Hill and Japantown. It's right here. Why is it my favorite? Well, it contains 2 drop points that are next to one another. Use this spot or find yourself an equally pleasant site to use and abuse. But hey, what if you have already completed all the missions and gigs? What if the map is empty? Well, no problem. You just have to have a walk through some shadier parts of the city, and sooner than later you will come across some gangoons chilling or otherwise doing their things. There is no penalty for attacking them on sight, so it is pretty much encouraged. There are also 2 other, lesser things you can try. First of all, make sure to check out all the less accessible and more out-of-the-way places, like this one right here. They look like nothing, but more often than not, you will come across either some components or some really powerful items or even wads of cash. The designers of Cyberpunk 2077 clearly want you to explore every nook and cranny of the city, and they do award you for that. Last but not least, during indoor missions you will often come across closed doors that require either loads of strength or technical ability to open. Make sure to get all the stuff that you can find in there. Even if you cannot get inside at the moment, make a mental note of the place and return there later. In many cases this will be perfectly doable. And there you fucking go, samurai. There are probably even more efficient ways to gather money quickly, but especially with the leather jacket approach, you can get around 100,000 eddies per every real-time hour, and that's at the very least a much faster pace that the missions themselves allow for. I hope this will help you. Good luck!